Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a couple of the dinners that I whipped up for my family. Now sometimes I use half convenience foods, half homemade foods, just to make it easy on myself, and I do that a lot in this video here, so make sure you stay tuned and watch for the whole thing. If you're new to the channel, my name is Carolina. I live in Montana. I do a lot of pantry cooking, budget shopping, and product reviews on my channel. If that's the kind of content you're into, I hope you'd consider subscribing. Come join me in the kitchen. Alright guys, let's get into it and I'll show you a couple of the dinners that I whip up for my family of 5. For this first meal, I'm going to be making some bratwurst pasta. I'm going to start with some ghee, and you can put any kind of fat that you would like. I'm using this because I have it on hand. And then I'm going to throw 1 diced white onion in there and just get that kind of cooking up and searing. And then we're going to throw in our raw meat. I always like to cook the onions a little bit before I put the meat on there, even if I'm doing it with ground beef. This is just regular beer brats. I'm breaking them up and going to use them as ground beef kind of thing, and that's what's going to be our protein in this dish. So I'm just going to mix them up with the onions that we have sweating a little bit, and then you're just going to cook this until it's all done. Now I do suggest draining or straining this once it's cooked because bratwursts have a lot of fat in it. So it's not one of those meats that you can kind of just get away with not draining the fat off. So I drained that off, put it back in the pan. I got some spring mix on clearance, so I'm going to throw that in there. I normally would use spinach, but I'm like, you know what, maybe I can use this as spinach substitute, and it was all right. Next time what I'm going to do is break up the lettuce if I'm going to use this instead of spinach, because it kind of got wilty and stringy and it wasn't as short, if that made sense. It was long stringy pieces of lettuce, but it worked in a pinch. And after that is wilted and in, I'm going to add some canned mushrooms and also some capers. I really like capers. They give a good kind of pickled pop taste, so I'm going to add those in there. And for the sauce, I mixed 1 cup of sour cream with a squirt of Dijon horseradish mustard. Just sour cream and mustard mixed together makes a really good kind of sauce. Sour cream is a great substitute if you don't have heavy cream or half and half or anything, if you want to make kind of like a creamy Alfredo-y type of sauce. So I mixed that all together, and now I'm going to be adding it to some rotini pasta that I made. You could use any kind of pasta. I like the rotini because it has swirls in it, so it kind of collects all of the sauce and makes it for a really good creamy bite. I'm going to add a little bit of Slap Your Mama seasoning to this. I found out the hard way that it is very spicy and you definitely need to go light on it. So just a sprinkle to add a little bit of flavor to it. And I tasted it and it tasted delicious. I hope that you give this a try. For tonight's dinner, I'm going to be making a crispy chicken salad. I have this popcorn chicken that I got on sale. So this was $7 for this bag, and it's going to feed all of us, which is great. I'm going to be air frying this. I go at 380, and I'm going to do about 12 minutes because the popcorn chicken is pretty thick. So I want to make sure that it's nice and cooked. And then I'm going to be slicing some tomato. I am just going to rough dice this. The best way to do it is just to kind of slice it and then stack them. I usually do 3 high, then cut them one way, turn it around, and then cut them another way. And that's an easy way for you to dice a tomato if you just want to do it by hand. And then I also have some cucumber here that I'm going to be using. I like to skin the cucumber. To me, it's really bitter. I know some people will even do just a couple of the strips and leave some of the skin on. I like to take all of it off. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim it with my knife, and then we are going to slice and dice this as well. Again, I do the same thing where I kind of just stack it up and then I slice it one way and then slice it another way. My second cucumber almost got swiped there by the kids. Now for the salad base, I have a bag of salad, like romaine mix, and then I have a bag of spring mix here. So I'm just going to mix those two together. If I would have gotten myself a bigger bowl, I would add the dressing and toss the dressing with the salad there, because that makes it a little easier to eat than just pouring the dressing on top. But we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, pour it on top. So I'm going to load our bowls up, and then I'm going to put the cucumber on 4 of them, as well as the tomato. That last one's for husband. He's anti-veggie sometimes, so I'm just going to let him go with it. And then we are going to put some shredded cheese on there. You know, bacon bits would also be good on here. Avocado would be good on here. What would you guys add to this salad? Let me know in the comments below. So with the popcorn chicken, I'm going to dice it. I love the combination of hot and cold. So having like hot chicken on a cold salad or like hot chicken in a wrap. This would also be really good wrapped up in a tortilla and make like a fried chicken ranch wrap. That would be good. Or you could even do Caesar dressing and kind of make like a crispy Caesar salad as well. That would be really good. So this turned out absolutely amazing. We used light ranch that we got from our food bank. The kids actually gobble this up. You know, anytime I put a salad in front of them, they eat it. So I really need to start doing more salads. But this was absolutely delicious, and I'm going to be doing this again for sure. I'm going to show you guys real quick how I make a grilled cheese. I don't know if everybody makes it this way, but I thought I'd show you how I do it. So I put butter on top and on bottom because you want to toast both sides. That makes it super crispy. That's what they did in the restaurant industry. So butter on one, flip it, butter on the other. I have some pepper jack cheese that I got on sale. It was 81 cents off, not too bad. So I paid $1.20 for a little over half a pound. I think that was pretty good. So this one is for husband, obviously, with the pepper jack cheese, although I don't find pepper jack cheese very spicy. And then I'm going to add some shredded cheddar cheese. This is just the cheese that I have on hand, so I'm just showing you guys that you could really use any type of cheese that you have and make a combination of one. And then we're going to rotate it 360 to make sure that each side is getting toasted. And just like that, we got a super duper delicious grilled cheese using what cheeses we had on hand. Tonight I'm going to be making some hamburger helper. This is the lasagna one. This is the brand we get from our food bank. I'm going to be doing something a little different as I'm going to be using some of my home canned pork. This is just like pork tenderloin that I have chopped up and I canned it raw. So this is what we're going to use. It breaks up very easily because it cooks in the canning process. So just to let you know, when you have a hamburger helper, you don't have to use hamburger. You could really use any kind of meat that you have on hand to substitute it. Hamburger is just what most people use, you know. So now I have the cheese packet. I like to mix it in a little bit with the juices from the meat, so that way you don't get those clumps of cheese and seasoning, you know what I mean? So now I'm going to add the water to it. If you have broth, that would be good as well, but that seasoning does have some chicken flavored in it as well, so you don't have to add it if you don't have it. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of milk to this. And now we're going to put the noodles in there. This was just the 1 pack. I know some people will add extra noodles to kind of beef it up, so that's an option as well. And then I'm going to be adding some frozen corn. I don't know when I started doing this, but I love having corn added to hamburger helper. To me, it adds like this nice little crunch. Plus, it's an extra veggie. So we're going to put a lid on this, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And now that it's all done, it looks delicious, and as it cools, it'll thicken up, but it turned out really well. And to serve this up, we are going to have a slice of buttered bread, and then I have some canned carrots. So that completed dinner, and this was really good. What kind of meat would you use instead of hamburger? How easy were those dinners? It's definitely something that I believe every single one of you can do, so don't be afraid to get in the kitchen and whip up something tasty. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on Mama Baird's.